This conference will now be
Actually, it's being
recorded.
recorded now. So this is what we were doing yesterday.
Yeah, Aleph.
Yeah, LF. So if else condition we are applying here. So uh, have a look. If anything you face a problem, please let me know.
Okay, so we'll type it. All right. Tarkeshwar,
Yeah.
can you use your headset, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is it fine now?
No, it's just there was a lot of background noise coming from someone's house. So we're if you're
Yeah.
already using headsets, then it's
Today no work is going on.
but still it'll be better if you use headsets because when you move around
Yes,
and
sure.
stuff, there's a lot of
Okay, I'm
sound.
going to
Yeah.
use.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's connected now.
Thank you.
Is it fine?
Yeah.
All right. So just go through with this and let me know. But it seems very easy, so you can try.
Yeah, we're trying it right now.
Yes.
Tarkeshwar, I have a question for you, which is better
Yeah. What's the
to
question?
demonstrate it. Can you make me admin?
Yes, sure.
It's a IDE question, that's why.
Yes. So let's start now. So I'm having this pie charm. I'm going to use this pie charm.
No, no, no. If you can make me the presenter, I'll show you the issue.
Yeah. So Arthur,
Yes.
okay, this one. Okay, make you presenter.
Yeah. Pick the session which is on mute. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
So take a look. So what happens? I wrote this, but now I want to just click on this play sign for it to run. But for some reason,
Yeah.
it stays on this my yesterday's script. How would
Okay.
it automatically
So
switch to?
always, what I suggest you always right click on the code and select run.
But it's too much to do, right? Oh, then it switches on its own.
Hmm.
Oh,
So
if I right click, then
first,
it just
but next
switches.
time if you click on this button, green button and
Got
then
it. Got it.
green triangle. First time you have to right click and then run.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thank
I'll
you.
tell you next thing. I'll tell
Yeah.
you next thing so that without click on that also it will work. Okay. So now
Oh,
let's.
look at this. Oh, by the way, look at this. Error.
Okay, you can stop.
No, but
You
why is
can
it
stop.
still running anyways? Or did I click on twice?
Your program is still running. That's why it's asking. Do you want to again start or not?
Oh, I see. Okay. All
That
right. We're
was
good.
just a confirmation.
I think I clicked on too fast. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Thanks.
let's start object-oriented programming.
So,
Okay. So it's working fine, right?
yes. So you can make.
Okay. So let's make it as an automated thing. Like I'm going to do the same program.
Hold on. I'm still sharing my screen, so you go share your screen.
Yes, yes. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So, so sometimes happens that you want get input from the user.
Tarkeshwar, one more
So,
second, please. Can you go to your document that you walk us through? I thought there was more there before we start object oriented. So can we just double check?
yeah, you already have that document, right?
Yeah, yeah. We do.
Uh,
So scroll up. What it was before. Scroll up.
uh,
Oh,
scroll up.
this.
This is what we have studied yesterday.
Okay. All right. Scroll down then. Yeah, this is what we studied yesterday, and then alternative branches. Go down. Go down more. You can keep going down.
So this quiz.
Oh, I see. Got it. All right. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. So so have a look on this. If you are if you find you're comfortable with this, then it is good.
So what is it saying here? What is happening here? Try to answer this
So
quiz without using interpreter. What are the Boolean values for the following variables? A equals false. So A equal values is zero. Hmm. Why is zero in parentheses? I mean
yes.
in double quotes.
Okay. So it means it's a string. This line is a string now.
Yeah.
So the a value is a string. First it was boolean false, then it becomes string, After that, it becomes
Number.
integer,
Yeah. And
a
then it
number,
becomes string again.
string again. Yes.
Yeah, it's not none. It's not the other none because it has double quotes around it.
Yes, it's not that none. It's a string
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So what is the output of the following statement? 2 is power 2 equals to 4. Is it true and false?
So and
So
false I see. And
obviously
the
that
other one,
it's a false. And this one, try to evaluate first.
no, the first one is 2 into 2 is so and false means is false, right? Same thing.
Yes. So its final result is false, right? So why? This
Because
one is
bec
false. This one is false, and this one is also false. So that's why result is false.
no, but the
If
first
you
one is false
if
because you
if you
say it's false, right? Otherwise
if
it's
you
fine.
calculate this one, result
Yeah.
is true,
Yeah, okay.
and it is inverted now, so it becomes false. Even this one also false. Both are false. That's why result is false.
No, but well, okay, Targev, just for understanding, the very first parenth, the one two to the power of two
All right. All
is
right.
four,
So
right?
this is true.
Yeah, but
See,
we're just saying it's false because we're forcing it to be false, right?
true. This is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And okay, I'm going to explain this. So one is true. So I'm writing true and
False, yeah. So it's false.
false.
That's what
False.
I was
So
asking, yeah,
result
which
would be
makes it,
false. Okay.
yeah.
Now come to this one. 15 is greater than 16 is greater than 15. It's true.
That's true, but the other one
And
is false.
other one is false. So because between we are using or, so that's why result would be true. This result is true.
Oh no,
Let's
hold on,
try
hold
now.
on. So true or false will make it true. True and
Yes.
false will make it false. I didn't know that. Okay. But then there's a
Listen.
not outside that makes it false again.
Or I'll make a difference between and or. Or is to evaluate the condition, both should be true, then it will return true. If any is false, then it will return true. If both are false, then it will return false.
If one is false, one is true.
If one is false, one is true, then it will return true.
But you earlier said it's false.
Okay, okay, I'm going to write that. True, true, and true. And result
It's
is true.
true.
And or if one is false and false, then it becomes false. If true and false, then the result will be false.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, the same thing I'll Okay. Now I'm writing or, true or false. Then result would be true. If
Or result will be
false,
true. Okay.
yeah, false, result would be false.
False. And true or true,
If,
then result will be.
yeah. So this is difference between or and.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to your
Yes. Document.
yeah, let's go back to document. I want to read it and then see if it makes sense. Uh, Let me explain it first, okay? Then see if you agree or not. The first statement, 2 into 2 equals 4, is true, and true and false makes it false. Then the second statement, 16 greater than 1, is true, or 1 equals to 3 is false. So true or false makes it true, but then the not statement outside makes it false. Correct? So basically, false or false gives us the answer for false.
False. That's why answer is false.
Okay, cool.
Name Python's logical operator. Logical operators are equals, greater than, less than, equals, greater than. So these or equal equal. So this is also logical sign.
The difference between equal and equal equal is equal means sets the value and equal equal evaluates
Equal
the value.
single equal means it's assignment. We are copying value from one value to one variable.
Yeah,
Let's say I'm writing uh, a equals to 10. So it's assignment. If I'm writing a equals to 10, it's a comparison.
got it.
We are comparing. We are comparing
Got it.
a is equals to 20 or not. So this is the difference. So what will be printed as the result of the following code? So what is the result? So result is x equals to 5. If x equals to 25, obviously it's not. Uh,
Print
so
quarter. I see what you mean.
yeah.
LF10, print time, LF5. No, it's nickel, okay. Yeah. So this code, I don't understand. Sorry.
You,
We're
okay,
already
so you
setting the
can.
value for x equals 5. And then we're saying
So
if evaluate if x is equal to 25. It's not. Then it's not
it's
gonna
not.
prove.
Yes.
It's not
So
gonna.
this statement will not execute, and second also will not work. Only third statement will work.
Third will work. Yeah, exactly. And the fourth will
Only
not.
third
Well,
one will work.
fourth we won't even go into.
Yes. So let's try this. So what I'll do now, right click, I'll paste. Okay. So for so if I assigned x equals to 5, then if I'm going to check f equals to 25, else if do I need to increase some fonts, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the first one is the first if needs to. No, that's fine. Yeah, you're doing it.
I'm increasing font size first.
LF. No, you don't need to increase font size. That's fine. LF needs to go back level at the level of if, right?
So Aleph is giving some error.
No,
So
LF needs
that's
to be parallel to
yes, parallel
if.
to
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
This is correct.
In the other one, there are two double quotes in the dime.
Yes.
By the way, I'm simply just putting single quotes for now in my print statements. They also work.
That will also work. That will also work. That's no problem with that. So now,
Double quotes and extra quote and under penny.
oh yeah, under panning. So we can execute this code now. The line number is LF10. I need to space. Okay, run. So x equals to 5. Okay, this one column is required. Okay, run now. So result is nickel.
What did you fix? What happened? What was wrong with the code?
The colon, semicolon,
Oh, it was missing. I see what you
the colon was missing.
got it. Okay.
Okay, so now have a look over this. Suppose x equals to 5, y equals to 0, z equals to 1. Then evaluate this expression. Any problem in this?
Now this looks straightforward. What does the following code print? X equals 0. If x equals not 0, print x is non-zero. Yeah, so we'll print x is non. Well, it will it will print nothing, right? This number 6 will
Yeah.
print nothing because
Yes. Not
yeah,
equals to 0. It will no output. Yes. In
no
this
output,
case,
right?
no. Yes. In this
Okay.
case, no output. I'll show you here. I'll create one more project, one more file, uh, test2. Paste, and I need to remove this. So one tab. All right. So no result.
Yeah, because we didn't give it a statement
Yes.
related to x equals 0.
So these all are the answers here. Or
Okay.
answers here. Okay. So now go through with this.
Write an expression that tests if a variable x is less than or equal to. Oh, so what do we write? We just say,
So this is the answer. This one answer. So it is asking x variable less than or equal. So less than equals 100, right?
yeah,
Okay. So let's proceed now.
write an
So right.
expression that tests if x is between 3 and 10, x greater than. Oh, okay. They're just showing how to put limits,
Yes.
how to put boundaries. Yeah,
Yes. How to put the boundaries.
got it. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Write an expression that tests if a variable x is even or a multiplier of 5. X modulo 2. I see.
So this is a modular sign, this modular sign, and we are comparing.
Got it.
For safer side, we have convert enclosed with the parenthesis. Yes, have a look on this.
There is a function with the following declaration. Person is old age. Well, that's about me, okay. Which returns. Yeah, so that's simple, right? We can
Yeah,
agree
that's
what the age should be. If I pass in 40, that we say go to work. If I pass in 65, I say you deserve to have a long vacation.
yes. So this is a simple if and else statement.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the most useful and very important and little bit difficult.
Okay.
So yeah, this principle class and objects. But since if you are using so obviously you are going to use a Python. So without classes and object also you can work. But to become a programmer, it is mandatory to uh, aware with these concept, classes and object. But in Python, without this also you can work, no problem. But it is a mandatory concept. So if you are from the Java background, without a concept you cannot do anything in Java. So that's why it becomes very easy. Uh, becomes mandatory to learn. So let's start now. So classes is what? First we have to learn the classes. So classes you can say it's a blueprint before uh, before rising before doing any task we have to write one blueprint on paper. So according to the blueprint we are going to we are going to create a one building or something whatever. So some task we are going to perform on the basis of blueprint, right? So blueprint is nothing, just a replication, just a image. And object is a real entity. Object is real entity of class. So in Python, or not only Python, each and every programming language, before writing anything, before writing object, before creating object, we have to design it's a blueprint. How the object will behave inside the uh, during lifetime of application, how it will work. So
Okay.
let's say I have a car class. So class, how you can create a class. So class keyword is there, just like a def. Def keyword was used to create a function, but for class you are using class keyword. After that, class name.
Okay.
So you are going to create a class. uh, let's say I'll create class first. So these methods I'll just copy or object. Now I'm going to create class car. Why there is another term is naming convention. Naming naming convention. So while you are creating a class, while you are creating a method, there is some certain rules, but these rules are not applied over the Python. Without not These are just for human understanding. So if you see here, I am writing a class car. So C is a capital letter. So by just having a look over the class, I can say yes, this is a class. If I'm writing a small letter, it means I can say it's a method. If I'm writing all are small letter, then I can say it's a variable name. So the way of writing a variable, the way of writing a class is clearly can define. But Python would not mind it. So let's say I'm going to create one class car. So I should write here capital letter car, capital letter C car, and then I can write again same thing def, because inside one class maybe state and behavior, how class is going to behave, how class, what is the property of classes. Def turn left. Okay, so this is my method. And have you noticed automatically self is coming? So do you know, have any prior knowledge of any programming language? Hello.
Tarkeshwar, not me. I think Anuj does. So why did this Aleph came?
Yeah, that's what
Or
I'm going
self?
to explain actually.
Or why did self come?
Hmm. So what is self here? So before creating any object into the memory, we have to associate. So you can say car is a one object, one big box. Inside
Yeah,
one box have a certain property and features. Okay, let's say
yeah.
talk about I'm I'm going to create a class person. So you can understand very well. Then we will talk about this one.
Okay.
Person. And first focus on the naming convention. So I am creating P as a capital letter because I am going to write a module. So each and every file in the Python known as module. Okay, inside
Okay.
this module, I'm going to create one class person here. Now I'm going to write one method def
Hey guys, sorry for joining late. This is Muzaffar
get
here.
name,
Yeah, no problem, Zafar.
get name of the person.
Okay.
And self is connecting this get method to person.
I see.
So
Okay.
it's creating an association because this get name is coming under the name of person.
No, but then why do we need to do write self? Because it's already under the class person, so it should
Yes,
be
yes. Because why? Because this programming language, Python is interpreted language, not object-oriented programming language. So in object-oriented programming, we have a this type mechanism, so no need to pass self. But
okay.
but in the interpreted programming language, everything is uh, converting line by line. So that's why we it should not distract. It maybe it should not be detached anytime. So it's a way of connecting.
Okay.
Keep stick to that same object.
Got it.
So that's why we are passing a self. But
So
in
it wo- so
object-oriented programming like
yeah,
Python, like Java, in
yeah,
Java, this keyword we are using this.
I
It
see.
is just like this keyword in Java or other language. So
Okay.
I will not talk about Java. I will talk about only this Python. So this is going to connect get method to person. Whole lifetime of programming, whole lifetime of application. This get name will connect it to a person. let's say I'm writing print, 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 I'm inside
This class.
get name.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
sure.
Now set name. Let's say I'm putting set name. Def set name. Actually, this is the right way, comma name. So after self, we can pass any name.
Yeah,
Print.
exactly.
So
By the
self
way, why did you put name as uppercase, the N?
self
Is it
dot
just
one moment. I'll explain. Self dot name equals to name. Self dot name equals to name. So now my code is correct, and what? So my class is ready. My class is ready now.
why did
So
you
what
put
I'll do
A?
now?
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Why did
sorry.
you put A
Yeah, yeah.
next to this?
Yes. And comma, I'll put self dot name. So this is, so what I'll do now, I'll call car.
Yeah, but there's no
Let's say
name defined in the
Maruti,
but
Maruti car.
but Tarkeshwar, there's no name defined in the first function, get name, right? Like
Not
the fun.
defined. Yeah, that's so self is attaching that variable to the context of object. So that's why no need to define. Python can typecast automatically, but other language cannot do. In this thing applicable, no problem. It will work.
Okay.
Let's say a person name is okay equals
Yeah.
to person, person. Okay. So this is done. Now dot set. I can pass the value also. Hello, hello, and print or without print also it will work. Dot get name. And if I execute this code, instance has no attribute names.
The Tarkeshwar in the
Code
get
name
names, yeah,
spelling
names.
mistake. So can you see this? So I passed value inside this variable, but I'm able to access inside this one.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see if I can
Okay.
read this first. So you said Tarkeshwar variable. You said Tarkeshwar as the person function, person
Yes,
class, and then
yes,
it because it's a class, you can reference the function. So Tarkesh dot set name is the
yes,
second one in which you provided the value hello, which is the value for the name,
yes.
and
Value
then
for the name.
in the second line you said Tarkeshwar dot get name. I see. Get name was the up function, and it says I am inside the get name. And then
Yes.
hello is the value because self dot name hello is the value that you got. Okay,
Okay.
got it.
So now like this it will work. So object-oriented programming says if something you are passing inside that object, yeah, and it becomes a property of the same object. So anytime you can get access of that same value. but not
Got
outside of the application. So it's you can say it's a encapsulation. So this is called encapsulation. So things are encapsulated, state and behavior. So,
got it.
so these are the behavior. The methods are behavior. Methods are behavior, but this self dot name and this name, this is state. This is state of the variable.
Okay.
So you can say object is a collection of state and behavior. So how object is going to behave and what are the property of the object. So it defines the property of the object.
Tarkeshwar, I have a question here. In the set name, you are already doing set name is self name equal to name. That means you're putting the name into
Yeah,
the
any string, any string or any value.
right. So you're putting that name equal to in self dot name, but you're doing the similar thing outside when you say Tarkeshwar is equal to person. So you're getting all the output from the person and assigning
Yeah.
to they call Tarkeshwar.
Yes.
So why are you doing it the same thing twice?
Okay. So let's take another example. Okay. So person could be a student, person could be an employee,
Okay.
right? So I'm going to create encapsulation. So I'm going to create tell you inheritance. So class student, and inside this student is a person name. Person is a parent class, right? And I'm going to define one variable. Uh, get roll number. Get roll number. Sorry. Print print roll number comma self dot roll number def set roll number and self dot roll number equals to roll number. So inside that, okay. So why I'm doing that? This. So now I told you because object is a collection of state and behavior. Stud student is another object and person is another object. But I am saying person is a parent class, student is a child class. So student have a roll number and person can have a name. So if I'm writing like this, student, let's say, okay, in short I'm writing student, so no need to write this thing. In shortcut I will write equals to student, right? Now student dot. So have you noticed, see, inside this I'm able to get the name, set name, roll number. But in a student, I declare only uh, one property, roll number. So how
Yeah.
I'm getting other property, because property is being inherited from parent class to child class. So that's why we are using a same thing two times. So instead of writing a code again and again, I'm only going to write a same functionality one time, and that same functionality I can inherit to child class.
That's true, but I think what you're saying is inheritance from a parent class to a child class. That I understand it, but I'm talking about only the parent class. When you wrote earlier, there was only parent class, and that's the time why you're writing twice. When you say inside the method or inside the class, when you
Yeah.
wrote that name, you said self dot name equal to name. So you define the name equal to name there.
Yeah,
But
this value I need to copy this. So that's this is a copy of the value from outside to inside. It's assignment.
I don't understand why you do that.
Because see, while you pass this property, while see, here I call this method, right? And
Yes.
I'm calling this method, and I pass this value. If I do not do this, then how can I get the access inside of this? I will not get the access of this. So that's why I need to copy the value inside the name. That's why it is mandatory. Got it?
Not yet. No. I
Okay,
understand
okay.
passing the
Okay,
value.
okay. I'm going to explain once again.
Say you're passing the value self and name, two things, right?
This is what we did in earlier. We created a method, right?
Hmm.
The same thing we did. So I'm attaching this local variable to global variable. Self.name is a global variable. Okay.
Okay.
Name global. Now you can understand very well.
Okay.
Name global. So now, so this name dot global is always every part of the program it can be accessible. Name global, not this name. Name is the local variable for this method only.
Okay, I
So
see now.
inside this method, this is local variable. But name dot global, because of self, this is a valid inside the person class, entire person class. Anywhere in the person class, you can use this. Got it?
Okay.
So does that mean, Tarkeshwar, if we in the second class where there is a student, the child class,
Yes.
anywhere if I write self dot name
Yes.
equals name, then this will also that name will function will also be available. Name variable will also be available.
Yes. Name function will be available. Let's say for
Name function, yes,
print,
sorry.
print, let's say global. If write self global, name global, right? I can access this one. Print, print,
This
name
is
global.
inherent. Basically, a child class
But the
can.
name global is defined in parent class, not in
Right.
child class. But still, I can use because of inheritance.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is inheritance. But the question I'm stuck not clear to me is why we are doing it twice. Once the local variable name equal to self dot name global, that is the in the parent class, you are assigning that. But after outside the class, you're also doing the same thing. Tarkeshwar equal to person.
Okay. So
Line
this
number.
is a this in this line. I'm creating object of person class.
Okay.
Without creating object of the person class, I cannot access that class. I
Okay.
have to create object. So this is just a definition. This is just a blueprint, nothing else. Actual, because of this line, it's going to convert into the object. This
Okay.
is just a, this one is just a blueprint. Blueprint I have to convert into the real object.
Okay, I
So
see.
Tarkeshwar equals to person is creating an object of person class.
Okay, got it.
So
Tarkeshwar, this is,
Tarkeshwar equals, yes,
sorry to interrupt. Muzaffar, you good now? I don't want to rush anybody.
Go
So
ahead.
okay, good. So I have a question related, sort of learning from Muzaffar's question. Uh, if I read this code, the person class is the parent class. I understand that. Name
yes,
global, self.name global, I get that. Then in
yes,
the second function where we say set name, the
yes,
name of the function is like the variable passed inside the function is name, right?
right, right,
And then you
right,
say name global equals name. So explain to me. So we're saying that in the set name function, we can
yes,
access the name global function as well. Is that what we're
yes,
saying?
right,
Okay.
right.
So I'm clear on
Because
that.
because of inheritance,
But
because of inheritance, we can access any parent class function in child class.
so the fact that the Python allowed us to type name global is because of inheritance. And then the second thing
Yes,
you did on it is you said name
yes,
global is equal to name. So you just
yes,
assign
right,
the value to it, another variable to it.
yes,
So
right.
so then if name global, so then in the child class student, explain to me why we're not able to access name, or can we access name as well?
See, this name is only local to this function only. Inside this function only it can be accessible because it's local.
What
So,
makes it
see,
local?
what it mean by we have provided one tab because
I
of
see.
indentation. This name is only accessible inside the set name function only. So we have to take this value to the global. So that's why I use set dot name global.
But then the name global is also with the indentation in the function above, right? Get name.
Correct, correct. Okay. But if some variable do not have a value, what it mean that it does not make sense. So if we have that value variable must have a some variable, must have a some value.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm assigning some value to the name global. Otherwise, it would be none, zero, nothing is there, void.
Yeah, I see. So I
That's why
get,
I assigned some value.
so assigning the value is fine. That makes sense. And then when we say set name function is hello, we get that. So I'm sorry, I'm still not clear as to why name is not showing up in this child class. Like what makes it a local variable?
Okay. So local variable just it will take input. It will get the value in the function and it is limited inside this function. That's it.
Okay.
Let's say limited inside this function. It cannot go outside. So I want to access inside everywhere in the class person. So that's why I need to copy into the global variable. Why become global variable? Because of self. Self means it's always referencing to the context of the class. So context of the class we can refer using self. So so because of self it becomes global for person class.
I see, I see. Okay. And then the child class is inheriting that, so then the name global becomes available.
Right, right.
So if I want to make the name as a global variable as well, how will I do that?
Then you can write as a self, just simple self. Let's say I'll create one more self self dot name one is a global variable.
Got it.
So it's a
Understood.
global variable.
So self dot makes it global, basically.
Yes.
Okay,
Self
that was
keyword always makes a global thing.
okay. That's what I was trying to get to. Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. I wasted
No,
everybody's time. But
It's all right. So
can you repeat the last part? Self
actually,
makes
see, that's why I told you in the beginning itself. The OOP concept is little bit difficult. So
so Muzaffar
once
was
you
asking
go through
self.
with this, you will never face any problem.
So Tarkeshwar, self makes it global, right? Anything we type
You're
after
right.
self in the parent class makes it global.
Okay.
Uh, Listen, make it little bit change. Self makes self is attaching variable to class context.
Okay.
Class context is always global. Global for that particular class.
Understood. And the fact that this class is our parent class, that makes it available in the child class as well.
Right, right.
Okay. So
Okay.
just to understand, self connects what?
Uh, Object context.
Object context to what?
The self variable. It connects variable to object context.
In other words, it connects the variable to the class
Okay.
Yes,
itself,
this is the
right?
yes. Right,
Yeah,
right.
class. Okay.
Yeah. And then because that class is the parent class, every child class automatically gets it.
Right.
Connects the variable to the class. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then obvious thing, what I noticed is how to make a child class. He's passing student, and then in parentheses, we're saying what's my parent. Parent is person. So
Yeah.
then the student is the child class.
I think I got the inheritance part clear. Somehow I'm still not clear on this one. Maybe I'm going to ask this one more time. Sorry about that. When you say the self connects the variable to the class, in the past,
Yes.
as far as I remember, if we don't use self and you have a variable in a class, it's automatically part of that class because it's a local variable.
Yes.
Why do we need self to connect? Because without the self also, when the variable is defined in the class, without the self, okay, a variable
Yes.
is,
Without a self also defined, but
yes,
it is it is limited access inside that function only.
yeah, Tarkeshwar, what I'm,
Inside that function. So this name, let's say, okay, your your question. Print
Tarkeshwar, 1 second, hold on, let me complete my,
name. So
you hear me?
yes,
Okay, the question I'm trying to understand is, without the self, a variable is still in a class is still automatically connected to the class. What
yes.
difference self makes? That is not clear to me.
Okay. So again, I'm going to repeat that same thing. This, have a look on this. Set name. Set name is passing a self and it's passing a variable name, right? So the value whatever you're passing is connecting to this name,
Hmm.
and this whatever value you're passing, and this value without self, it is always treated as a local, means it's always treated as a inside the block. So
Yes.
so these three lines are under the set name method. It cannot be accessible to person. It cannot be, because these are limited access. So to make this unlimited access, to make it unlimited access for person class, that's why we have used self keyword, so that this global name can have a value uh, inside all, everywhere inside the person class. Got it?
I'm going to ask the same question again. So if
Okay.
anything is defined in that class person, because
Okay.
it's anything, any method or attributes
Yes.
defined in the class person are part of the class person.
Yes.
Why do we need to use another variable or
Self dot, yeah.
connect here? I don't, it's already a part of this.
Okay.
Name, where
Okay,
even if it's local, it's part of the class person. Why do we
correct.
explicitly have to say that name is part of the class person?
Okay. So it's as I told you, this is not a part of the person class.
No, but this is
Set
part of
name
the set
is
name
set
method.
name is a part of the person class.
Yes,
And
set name is part of the name is part of the set name method, right? And the
yes,
set
right, set name method
so they're
is a
already
part of person class. But this name is not a part of person class. It's a only part of this set name method.
okay.
So to take this name into the person class, that's why we are using self keyword so that it can be accessible anywhere in the person class.
But
So
Tarkeshwar, if
self is attaching the
okay,
any variable
let
to
me ask you a question.
context of the object,
Okay,
object context.
at this point, just think this way, okay? Now come to line 17, okay?
Okay.
At line 17, you created an object Tarkeshwar equal to person. So
Yeah,
basically,
I created object of person class.
and then after having that object, the object, once it's connected to the class of a
Yes.
class, you can use that object to access any method or attributes in that class. So you at the second line number 18, you use that object to access the method name, which is set name,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Now, once you use the method name set name and say hello, it goes to the
Yes.
same definition, line number
Yes.
5, and it says, okay,
Line
name
number five.
equal to,
Right.
right? It says name equal to hello.
Yes.
Then, if I print name, it should still print me the name because I passed that the value to that variable called name, hello to the name. So it should be able to
Hmm.
print. I don't need line number 6 there because
Okay.
I'm not using global
Okay.
name, right? You see my point?
Okay. 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 I understood. I for your I will comment this. Okay.
Mhm. And remove line number 8 also.
I
That
Yeah,
line 8.
remove line
local.
number 8 as well. I agree with Muzaffar to simplify the question
But
and understanding.
line number 8 also I'll
8 is
remove.
useless. That was just for an example.
Okay, correct?
So looking at this one, from line number 18, the transfer is calling the set name hello. Line number
Right.
18. The hello
Yes.
goes to line number 5,
Yes.
which is the name, and line number 7 should print the name. We don't need self. So in that case, even line number 5, do we need to still define self as part of the method name?
Yes. So see, I'm going to explain it now. So
Sorry, Athar, I'm
print,
trying to be clear on this flow
print.
No,
here.
no, Muzaffar, you're actually helping. Tarkeshwar, as
Yes.
long as you don't mind, we
Yeah,
this is
that's
basic.
very
So
good. So you are learning. I love it.
yeah, and Muzaffar, I'm
Uh,
learning from your
I'm
questions. So this is all good.
Thanks.
Anuj
second
is
line.
too smart
Okay,
for us. He's not asking any questions.
that's good. So now, so now I'm going to execute line number 23.
23. Oh, that's just the remove that line. Yeah.
Okay. So see here. So see your output. I'm a local name hello. So as I use line number 18, so it passed the value into hello, right? And
Mhm.
From
after
line
that,
number 7. Yeah.
line number 20, it is giving some error. So what is the error? Error is it's not able to get the set dot name global.
Yeah,
It's
because we
not
need
able
to
to get
comment
it.
that.
It's not able to find.
Yeah,
So
because we need to comment that out. We should just say name, self dot name.
yes, yes, yes. Okay.
And same thing maybe in
So
line 15, we should say
okay. Yes. Again, it's same error. Again, it's same error
hmm.
because it's not able to find the name. See error. Print hello name. So person instance has no attribute name because it's the name whatever you pass that is not part of the context.
That is not
If
part of the get name. Yeah.
so, if you want to make a part of the context, then you have to write self.
Hold on. Before you do that, how about in the take this out, line number 8, clean it up. Go to line number 5 in the method parenthesis where we have remove self.
Okay, then that it would not be part of the person class. It will not be a part of the person class without person class also. So see, set name takes
Hey, Tarkeshwar,
exactly one
Tarkeshwar, 1 minute.
argument.
Hey, Tarkeshwar, 1 minute, huh? Maybe like I would like to put something. I guess when we are doing set name without the self thing, we are just we are just calling another method actually. We are not setting a property for a class. So when we are doing
Ye-
set method passing a self, we are setting a property to a class.
yes. So now the solution is we have to write here self dot name equals to local name. So this is the solution. So now it becomes a part of the context and it can be accessible anywhere in the program.
Okay. So I think as Anuj was mentioning, you're just setting a property of a method,
Yes,
and without that we cannot access outside the class.
yes. Without that, outside of the method.
Outside of the method, okay. But the method is in the class, so that means the method goes through the class to the object.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay. So
In some,
now,
I believe it's more about that we have to adapt of to how this is set, how this works. So we have to
And
go and
one
take.
more
right.
thing, yeah, one more thing. There is no need to use self. You can define your own variable, like in C or C++. We can define like a this,
Yes,
right?
yes. That is
So so
also
you
we can.
so,
Yes,
so instead of self, you can say this. Yeah, you can put any word over there, but that has to be the first word in the function. Yeah.
I
correct.
see. It
Like
just
the C,
it's
C++
so
also
Anuj.
we can do.
Yes.
So
And
Anuj,
the
you're saying that self just as for
Yes.
automatically came in to help us, but I can put Anuj there and then stick with
Yes.
this
Yeah.
Anuj
Yes. Yeah.
property all the way through. And
Yes.
in some cases, we may want to do it to make it more readable code, right? Because if we have multiple parent classes and child classes, it makes it easier
Yeah.
to
Yes. I guess in Java and C++ we use like this dot inside the class, and I guess in over here we are just saying self dot. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Anuj.
Yeah.
so object-oriented programming is very interesting thing. We'll discuss more about it. Uh, please, if you have any book or something, or you that note whatever I gave you, go through with that. Then we will again focus on the object-oriented programming concept. This is
can
very
you
big programming concept. So we can extend any functionality from anywhere. Uh, but just we have to follow the rules of object-oriented programming. Thus, so we can access anywhere. See, the student no need to define a get name and set name something automatically it's getting inherited, or we can override, overload, private, public, protected. So these terminologies we will discuss. Okay, so we will discuss these terminologies. Okay, come back. So now, like this, we can define a variable, uh, methods. So we are using pass. Pass means return void. Pass means return void. It will not return anything.
so
Somewhere you want,
pass is a keyword?
yeah, pass is a keyword.
Okay.
So pass is a keyword.
So this is basically
So
blank code, literally
yes,
blueprint. You haven't thought about what you want to do inside the left or right or Excel right. You're just saying I'm putting a structure together right now.
yeah. So now,
I got paste it.
so this is a car, and pass is a just keyword to void, to
Can
return
so if I
one.
wanted to, I can put return there too, right?
Right. So somewhere you don't want to return anything, you can write pass.
So Tarkeshwar,
If you want to return something, you have to use return keyword.
what's your dream car? Let's make that. Let's set the value to that. Oh, BMW X6. Okay.
So the car is the object, class name, and BMW SX6, this is a variable name, and inside this we are passing the parameters. Yeah, these are the parameters. So if these are the parameters we can pass. So let's take an example: constructor and destructor. Constructor and destructor. So constructor is always responsible to create object. Destructor is always responsible to destroy object. So in a class you can define constructor by using init. So what you can do here, def underscore underscore init, initialize, and in initialization, let's say print, I'm going to create variable, uh, object. I'm going to create object. So let's execute it now. So so before creating object, so constructor is only responsible to create object. So this constructor job is to, if you do not declare any constructor, by default interpreter or compiler creates a one constructor, zero parameterized constructor. So no need to pass any constructor. Without a constructor also we can, interpreter will create a constructor for us. Okay, so no need to define the constructor. Without that also it will work. Let's say I want to pass the value at time of construction. uh, and let's say I'm writing greeting. Greeting is a variable, and here I can write hi. During creating object I'm passing hi, and I will pass here greeting here. Okay, so now, so it's writing good morning. I'm going to create an object. I'm a local variable hello. So we can pass any value at the time of object creation. We can pass zero parameter constructor or parameterized constructor. So as per requirement, we can use. Okay. So now see, as we have added one constructor here, and it is started giving some error. So what is the error here? So it is saying exactly we have to create one more constructor inside this class. If I'm calling this one, then super. Super means we are calling a method from the parent class.
So why do we have to do that?
we can call the constructor of superclass.
I see.
Let's say I'm writing student, student greeting. Okay, self. Let it be. In both of the cases, we will do. What are the name of that? Okay, student greeting. Person greeting. Okay. Now, if you call this, okay. So like this, we can pass the value here.
Yeah, Tarkeshwar, I'm sort of getting lost here. The initialization you said is
Initialization is
by
creating
default,
yes,
right? But then we can do it explicitly as well, which is fine,
yes, we'll see it as well. Correct.
right? So in there, we're still, why are we putting greeting there? That's just the name of the, or assigning a value to it. Assigning a,
We can create a constructor with value or without value. So we can remove greeting as well. See, this constructor is fine.
so let me ask you this. You also said something important that you apply the constructor explicitly, call the constructor or not based on the requirement. So why would a requirement derive it if it's already every time getting initialized automatically? Give me an example of a requirement which will cause
Okay.
someone to do it explicitly.
See, in object-oriented programming, there are two ways to pass value inside any class. First one is using constructor or using setter method, set method. So in set method, you can change value many times, but in a constructor is being called only one time. So that's why you can pass the value at one time, at the same time, at the time of creation. So it is depends upon your requirement how you want to access that. So various requirement we'll discuss about it, but for the time being you can understand as per requirement we can create our own constructor, we can create our own getter setters method
Okay,
for
okay,
our
okay, so that's
yes,
easy to, that's, I mean, even if I'm not 100% clear, I can move on because, okay, fine, explicit initialization or by default, it's an easy concept to understand. Where I
yes.
was really lost is the second part in which under the child class, you had to do this super and then initialization. So explain to me that concept again.
Yeah, next 5 minutes we are going to discuss because before that we are going to discuss some other topic. So that's why I disable that
Okay, so
line.
we'll leave that question open then. Okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now the we can create a constructor, user defined constructor, and we can copy this, into this context of the object self dot model, self dot max speed, self dot speed. So many variables we can use to bind with the context of the class.
Oh, hold on. Where's the speed coming from in this code?
Speed, this max speed,
No, that's max speed, right? Not speed.
max speed. This one is zero by default. It's zero. It's a part of context of the
Oh, I
object.
see, I see, I see, I see. Huh?
Okay.
Do I?
So please have a look on this. So we created a car, and inside that car, we have passed different speed. So we are increasing speed. How we can create variables? We can increase the speed or decrease the speed. So you can see here, I'm passing. Let's say I want to increase 10 kilometers per hour speed. I want to increase. Then it will take absolute value. Then it will add into the current speed. It will add into current speed, and again it will check whether it's beyond the speed limit or it's under. If it is beyond the speed limit, it will always go on a minimum speed. So it will take minimum speed, and if you want to slow down, then it will take it will minus that from that current speed, and it will check what is the maximum speed. So always it will go, it will check -5 or it will check minimum value. So go
So we
through with
created
that.
a so we created a class.
Yeah,
Inside that, we're creating a function called accelerate, and the variable inside that is speed difference. So then we say self dot speed plus equal means in here it will say absolute value for the speed difference. Cause I'm lost.
Hey, Tarkesh, are you there?
yeah,
I think Athar was asking some question, and even I'm not clear on this one.
yes,
Yeah.
tell me.
So Tarkeshwar, I think we need a little bit more background of what's happening in this code. You kind of have to break down everything for us to
Okay,
understand.
okay, no problem. I'll explain once again. Okay, don't worry. So by the time being, you can learn this thing. Uh, and tomorrow again, I will explain this same concept class.
Yeah, why don't we
Okay,
go over it again a few times so
because
we can.
object oriented or itself, it will take around 2 or 3 sessions.
Okay, that's fine.
It's a big concept actually. Okay,
Got it.
so don't worry, I'll repeat it. So have a look on this class first. Please read the whatever text is given in the background in this code. So please read each and every text. each part of the text. Go through with this. Today we have gone through with the inheritance and encapsulation. Tomorrow we will discuss about abstraction or polymorphism. Two topics every day we'll discuss.
Well, but you said to next session you'll walk us through these topics again, right?
Yeah, these topics again, yes. Abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, uh, these concepts are there. So we'll discuss about it again, once again.
Got it.
Even public, private, protected, this thing is still left.
Got it.
So when we do just the self right now, is this private or public by default?
It's a public.
This is public.
Yeah, this is public.
It's public, that means all the variables and attributes and methods of this class can be accessed.
By default, all are public.
So they can be accessed outside the class.
Excluding blocks, excluding these methods. So inside the method thing is always private, but method are public for the class.
Okay. What does init do here?
Initialize.
So why do we
INIT means initialize. So it is creating a constructor of the class. So without creating constructor, it's not possible to access any class. So it is mandatory. If you do not create a constructor, interpreter by default it will create a constructor for you. But it is always zero parameters constructor.
So that's a default constructor. We are
Yes, that's a default constructor. So everyone got the link for yesterday's session recording?
Yes, we did, but Tarkeshwar, we were wondering, I think
we stop recording for today.
Yeah, today also I'm recording.
Yeah,
You
I
can
think we
see here.
stop the recording.
Yeah, on the recording. Yeah, it's recording now.
then Muzaffar is saying you can stop the recording now.
Okay.
Let's stop it because we're pretty much concluding the session anyways.
I think we're good. Yeah.
We are
This
not
conference
clear.
will now be recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, it went on recording again?
Yeah, because I will edit this video. So I will edit this video
Yeah,
and
but we
then
can
I'll
stop.
publish on that. So the
Oh.
yesterday whatever link I gave you, that is that was just for.
Can we stop the recording? I think we are good here.
Okay.